I've been on a mission for a while to find the best outfit to train in for all of my sports, which is, it sounds like I have a lot more than I do, but I have at least 2. So I do Taekwondo and then I weightlift as well. So I wanted to find an outfit that looks really good and is still functional in both of these areas. Now when I say outfit, I mean like top to bottom. I kind of train barefoot pretty much all the time when I can. Even when I go to a public gym, I kind of like take my shoes off if possible, because you know, like lifting barefoot is more efficient for like your grippy on your feet. You can get weightlifting shoes, but I don't have weightlifting shoes, and I also think they feel horrible, so no. The first thing I achieved is my hair. So for Taekwondo I tend to do a ponytail, but for weightlifting I tend to do pigtails. But I do both of them in the same way, and it's a way that I learned from a lady at Squad for Taekwondo, the UK Taekwondo Squad, funnily enough. You would think that being a woman of 27 years old, I learned how to do my hair a long time ago, but I've actually never had hair this long. I've been saying for months I need to trim it to, you know, get the split ends and stuff and tidy it up and fix my layers and get new ones put in, but I just haven't been, because I've been enjoying having long hair, and I'm probably gonna have to get like an inch or 2 off of it just so I know that all the ends are clean. But I've been really enjoying this past year learning how to do hair in different styles. I think the next step I'm gonna do is space buns, because I really want to be able to do space buns, but it still feels weird migrating the base to be like up here, so I'm working on that still. Especially because I have a side parting as well, and I don't want to like do a center part and learn how to adapt for a center part and bring it back and forth, because it just grows this way. So I'm gonna have to learn how to do it with a side parting as well. Your upper half of your hair, you start like about here, like about on your eyebrows, and then you pull that back, and if it's a one ponytail you do it in a single, and then if you want to do pigtails you split it into halves again when you're holding it. But this is your first hair tie. You do that and you tie it up, and then you get the remaining lower hair, again, ponytail, keep it all together, or pigtails, split it, and then you group that and you bunch it with the counterpart on, let's say, either side. So you've got one thinner bobble up here, and then you take like a thicker bobble and you incorporate the upper pony pigtail into a bundle with the rest of it, and now you've got 2 ties, but it's got 2 anchor points, so it's pulling up and down. So normally when I was originally doing it I just had the down, so it would droop as the day goes on, but if you've got a higher anchor point, it's like tugging at each other as a counteracting force, then it stays in place, and it works perfectly for Taekwondo because it means my hair's not constantly slipping down, but it's still got a bit of a low like exit point. It's attached to your head higher up, but it's flush against your skull until you get to the lower segment, and then it like holds it flat to your head, but the end of the ponytail starts detaching from your head around at the bottom, so it works when you put a helmet on. I would normally incorporate my fringe as well, but like I either clip the fringe or I put it into one of the pigtails, but I just have my fringe down right now. But this is what I'm doing for this, and it's a lot more stable than if I just had like a normal single bobble pigtail. Doesn't really resolve the issue of it whipping around and going into your eye when you're doing a reverse or a spin kick, but that's something that you have to start encountering buttons for, I think, when you get to a certain length of hair. Although there are these girls who have like 8 levels of bobble on their ponytail, just keeping it tight, and I feel like it's like almost like a spa bar. I sparred a woman who had hair like that, and it was almost like it was an unconscious signal, because I had to dodge her hair as it whipped around first, and then the leg came afterwards. A better reaction speed that I dodged her hair, but it was a signal to the kick coming, so that was something that's interesting. But this is the perfect hair for it. And then I couldn't work out what to do for my outfit, because I hate training in trousers. Taekwondo pants are actually trousers. They're like the baggiest trousers I own. They're the only time I wear full length trousers at any point. And like, it's the traditional outfit, and I've trained Taekwondo in them my whole life and it makes sense. But if I'm going to go train Taekwondo in a public area, or if I'm doing it outside of class, then I don't really like wearing dobok pants because they look ugly. They're a bit too warm for me, generally speaking. Since I make content for this channel, it just doesn't look very cute for this channel, which is something that I've been trying to achieve for ages, which is look like a badass and also look nice at the same time. And every single time I've got a competition photo, I look absolutely horrendous with my helmet on and my gum shield in, so we got to counteract that somehow. So I was thinking, well, I like training in shorts because they're really comfortable and it allows me to do like kicks and stuff without wondering about flashing people. But also the problem is when I'm really flexible, like I can do really high kicks and I can do like axe kicks and I enjoy those sort of things, or split kicks. Then when you're wearing shorts with big thighs like mine, they ride up constantly. I get a lot of people talking about the fact that my legs are sort of always out when I'm wearing shorts. The leg length of the shorts aren't actually as short as they look on me. It's the fact that my thighs are so big they ride up, or if they're like stretchy material, it gets tight around the legs, and it's just really, it's either uncomfortable or they just migrate up my body as I move. So I didn't want to end up being like wearing underwear while I'm training in a gym is what it would look like. So I don't like doing that. So I thought, okay, what can I do to protect against that? If I had like another visible layer of material between my shorts and the outside world, then that would work great. So then you think skirt. So I've moved on to a skirt. If you look up skirts online, most of them are fucking hideous. Like they're like single pastel colours that I don't really enjoy. The material looks really flimsy, or if you go the other way, you go to like the Muay Thai style boxing shorts with just a little flap of material. It doesn't actually it doesn't look like a skirt. It's just like a little extra bit of material that they have on just the front sometimes, or like the front and the back, but not the side of the leg, and it doesn't really look very nice in my opinion, and I wanted it to look like cute but also functional. So I dug around for ages and I finally found a brand called Vixen Fit, which is actually designed for pole dancers, which is great because like aerialists and pole dancers, they have to do a lot of gymnastic type movements that involve them being upside down and inverted, so they need to be covered from all angles or else they'll be like inappropriately exposed or, you know, just less comfortable for what they want to be doing. And it means no matter what I'm doing with my legs, I still have something blocking me from basically public indecency. Now, I want to make it really clear that I actually don't think it's anyone else's business or what you wear while you're training, because you're supposed to be comfortable. I'm not comfortable training. No, I'm going to have to be tugging down my shorts every 2 seconds in order to just, you know, get my routine out or do some line work or do some shadow sparring or anything like that. So I wanted to have something that I knew was going to be in place the whole time. So the Vixen Fit one's actually really good for that. And I noticed that they had a design that was the Celestial design, which not only fits in really well with my branding personally, but it also was in black belt colours. It was in black and gold, so I was really excited about that set, and I hope that they're going to make more emo alternative goth style sets with blocky bold colours soon, because they have a lot of like vintage horror poster inspired sets, as well as like a bunch of, you know, girly pop vibes, which are fun too, but I don't really want to wear that. I want it to have like bold harsh lines and strong contrasts, as opposed to like a blur of vaguely gothic patterns going on. So hopefully that'll happen in the future, and I'm going to keep an eye on them. And if you want a link for a discount, I actually have that in the description below, then that would be great, and it would help get me some points. Maybe I can get some more stuff for free. And it came a matching top for the set. So I don't want to make this a really long video, but I just thought it was really good. And if anyone wants any advice on what to train in for martial arts and weightlifting while looking really nice, go look at that. I have some footage of me that I've shared a little previously. I actually shared the short before I made this long form video, but I did go to the gym with one of my friends on one of his guest memberships. We went ridiculously late at night. It was really fun, so the gym was like empty. I definitely ruined the life of the guy who was cleaning because I wanted to get my bag out of the locker room and when it was supposed to be shut, but I didn't realize because it's not my regular gym. A lot of people are getting salty about this squat video because I literally put first attempt at, what was it, 110 kilogram squat. It was like my PR attempt, and I don't go quite past parallel when I'm squatting, which like it's not even a good squat really, but it's like the first attempt, which is why I called the video the first attempt at it. But some people are getting really salty at the fact that I lean quite forward in my squats, and it's due to anatomy. It's because I have very long femurs, which you can see when I'm doing my like Taekwondo video. I did a pattern, I did Chung Jang, which you can, I'll put it on the screen, you can look at Chung Jang while I'm doing this, but you can see I've got really long femurs. So naturally your knees will go over toes, but also you have to bend in order to do it. And a lot of people are like, fix your squat form before you try and go heavy. And it's like, guys, your form will never be perfect on your first attempt at a new PR. Chill out. You got to start somewhere. And my mate, who's the Huntress guy, I know he's like, if it moves, it counts, which I don't know if I share exactly that opinion, but you know, there it is. This isn't a super involved video because I'm spending a lot of my time shooting footage for the part 2 of my IBE boxing series, which literally the first part ended up being a feature-length documentary. It is worth it. If you guys want to watch it, then there are chapter markings so you can skip any bits that you find less interesting. A lot of the time was taken up by the press release conference footage, which is the only time the majority of the fighters got to speak on their own behalf, which is why I left so much of it in. But if you don't want to watch that, you can skip it and look at the rest of the documentary. So it's really good. Fight night's on Monday. Putting a lot of time into training with sailing with that, so I just wanted to shout it out and look at it in the future, because hopefully the video for the part 2 after the fight is going to be out in a couple weeks. Thank you, subscribe, goodbye.